Hey yo, this is Yulia and welcome to my channel. Today we'll be writing a perfect letter of explanation for your study permit, for your student visa. So if you're planning to study in Canada, then keep on watching. A huge disclaimer before we start. I'm not an immigration consultant, nor am I an immigration officer. I don't make any decisions on visas or whatsoever. So all the information in this video is based on my personal experience. Also, this is not a legal advice. So, back to the topic. The tips and tricks I'm gonna mention today and the structure can be used for anything you'd like, whether it's a statement of purpose, motivational letter, visa letter, study permit, explanation letter. The structure works perfectly. Even if you're applying for jobs, you can still use the same structure because it's just perfect, okay? So what is a statement of purpose? What is a letter of explanation? Well, basically, it's an essay where you can explain what's going on. If you're applying for a study permit in Canada, this is your chance to stand out, to shine, and to explain everything. Whether it's a gap in your history, or maybe you switch in your majors, this letter, don't skip it, please. This letter should be submitted in your study permit application, but even though it's marked as optional, I highly recommend that you write it and you attach it to your file. Why do you even need a statement of purpose? First of all, you will need to explain why you chose Canada, this college, this program. You need to show Canada that you are a perfect candidate because even though you got your letter of acceptance, unfortunately, it doesn't mean anything. I mean, yay, congrats, you got accepted, but the hardest part is you need to get a visa. And your letter of acceptance, well, it's just a paper. And another reason to write a letter of explanation is to explain your gaps, your career switches, whatever is going on in your profile. Let's talk a bit about structure. First of all, your letter of explanation should be 1 page only. Don't write a 5-page essay saying, oh, I love Canada so much, I want to move to Canada, the best college, the best program. No, keep it short and sweet. Also, I would personally say use a readable font, so Helvetica, Times New Roman, maybe like Arial, something classic, and either 12 or 14 pixel size. Because if you use a huge font, then well, you'll have less space for explanations. If you use a tiny font, then people will not be able to read your letter of explanation. The structure will be very simple. So basically, there's gonna be an intro paragraph explaining what's up, who you are, but we'll cover it later. Second of all, it's gonna be about you section with all your skills, achievements, experience, and then there's gonna be a section why you should be the best candidate, and of course a sentence or two to wrap everything up and say thanks for your time, dear source. Alright, so what does a perfect letter of explanation look like? To begin with, there should be a date, so people, aka immigration officers, know when you wrote the letter. Because if you wrote it like, I don't know, in January and then you applied in like July, why are you doing this? I mean, it's nice to be prepared, but change the date. The second thing, what I would personally do, I would put the address and the contact details of the embassy, consulate, whatever their organization is. For example, if I'm applying for a Portuguese visa, I would say Consulate of Portugal in Montreal, the address. In your case, if you're applying, let's say, in France, no, French people don't need a visa. If, let's say, you're applying from South Africa, you'll be like Consulate of Canada or whatsoever the name of the organization, and then the address and the contact details. The most confusing part about writing the letters of explanation is how the hell am I supposed to address those people? Because dear sirs sounds like you're from I don't even know when, or like sir/madam, it's kind of like, I would say to whom it may concern, meaning whoever finds this letter, that's for you, my friend. So let's move on to the actual structure, actual letter. So introduction. Here you basically say, here, this is me applying for this and here are my supporting details. An example would be, hey, my name is John Smith, born on January 1st, 1991. Writing this letter in support of my study permit application. Something like this. You can also say, I've been accepted to Business and Management program at Algonquin College in Ottawa, and I'm planning to come to Canada in fall 2022. This way, the officers will see, okay, this person got accepted here, like, they'll get an idea of what's going on, instead of saying, I've always wanted to study in Canada. Ever since I was a child, I've always looked at the... Just leave it, just forget about it. Like, do not do this, please, in your intro section, at least. The second section, or the main body, is where you actually tell people why you picked this country, this college or university, this program, or whatsoever. This, the body part, is your time to shine. Here you will need to explain how education in Canada and this particular program will help you in your future, in your work, in anything basically in your life. Here you will need to show valid reasons and show the officers that you've done your research. As I've mentioned before, no this BS about I've always wanted to live in Canada, I love Canada, Canada is the best country in the world, because I don't think I'll need to explain that part, because like if you say you love Canada, you wanna live there, get citizenship and stuff, they'll be like, go apply through immigration programs, like why do you want to even study here? And also you can mention your future goals and perspectives in your home country. Here are some bad examples. I chose Canada because it offers a high quality education. Sure, but what about UK, Switzerland, the US, Australia? Doesn't work like this. The second bad example. Algonquin College offers the best business programs in Canada. And why didn't you pick London School of Economics if you want to study business and finance? A good example here would be, I've been following Professor Smith's works. I've even written my thesis at university about, let's say, some of their works. I've always admired what they did, so I decided to pursue my future studies at, let's say, University of British Columbia with Professor Smith. A good example number two, what I actually wrote in my letter of explanation. My family has a family business. My mom has been into educational industry for more than 20 years. Ever since graduation, I was helping her with organizing events, with managing some social media for her. So I've decided to take an event management in Canada, so I can experience the college life in Canada, but also learn how to organize event, because in Russia there are no such programs. Well, at that time, like 7 years ago, there are no such programs that can teach me event management. Again, here you can also explain all the gaps. Maybe you were pregnant and then you took a maternity leave, now you're coming back to school. Maybe you switched your careers, like I did. I have a master's in languages, but now I'm a product designer. But before that, I took event management. So I used this part actually to explain how me, with my linguistics degree, ended up applying for an event management program. And all this thing made sense because languages, education, business, and then organizing events for my mom's company. A great idea would be to mention where are your funds coming from. For example, if you are paying for your tuition fees, maybe it's your parents, because the officers want to know where the money comes from, Lebowski.
Where's the money, Lebowski?
Because if, let's say, you're paying for your tuition fees, well, you're gonna be studying. Like where are you gonna get the money from? Maybe you have some passive income, maybe you have some savings, maybe your rich babushka inherited something for you. Also, here you can explain some ties in your home country. Maybe you have a family there, maybe you have apartments, maybe you have businesses. But also what I would do, I would mention some job perspectives in your home country. You need to actually convince the officer that you're coming back. You can say, I've done my research, and after taking, let's say, business program at Algonquin College, I'm going back to Philippines, and there are companies A, B, C, D, E who have these job openings that require international education or maybe international experience. Everything should make sense. It should be a whole complete story. It's not like, oh, I've never been abroad, I'm coming to Canada, my money is coming from like, I don't know, my neighbor and people, and like the immigration officers are like, what's going on? In the conclusion, I would normally say if you have any questions or concerns, please don't hesitate to reach out or like message me or like call me. And then in my signature I would leave my contact details, so the officer, if let's say they're like, I'm not quite sure about her babushka, maybe she's not that rich after all, maybe she's like Anna Delvey, so they can actually send me an email or call me and be like, Miss Yulia, can I speak to your babushka, please? But also don't forget to be nice. You can say something like, have a lovely day, sincerely, yours truly, I don't know, something like not too cheesy, I'd say, something just like being polite. And please, 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 do not skip the letter of explanation. Honestly, like it can change everything for you. If you can explain why you have a 5-year gap in your educational or like work history, do it, do it. I was one of those people who would skip all the motivational letters, all the like, statement of purposes, but then I was like, but they asking it for a reason, So I started writing those letters for like everything, visas, job applications, whatsoever. And you won't believe it, well, people started to reply. And this is it for today. If you're coming to Canada this upcoming year, well, best of luck, and I'll see you very soon. Bye!